The sun was setting over the research facility when Yun Park received the unexpected package. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened the sealed container, her breath catching in her throat. Inside lay a collection of documents that would change everything she knew about her family's history. Her grandmother, a woman she remembered only through faded photographs and whispered stories, had been more than just a simple researcher. The holographic deed materialized before her eyes, a complete planetary claim in the distant Orion sector. Not just a small plot, but an entire research-grade planet with mineral rights, atmospheric research stations, and unexplored territories. Yun remembered the stories her grandmother used to tell her during childhood evenings. Tales of exploration, of discovering worlds beyond human imagination. She had always thought they were just bedtime stories, fragments of an old woman's vivid imagination. But now, the holographic document proved something entirely different. The planet, named Horizon 7, sat in a strategic sector of space that most interstellar corporations would kill to possess. Multiple scanning reports showed rare mineral compositions, potential water sources, and a unique atmospheric structure that could support advanced scientific research. Its value wasn't just in credits, but in potential scientific discovery. Her colleagues at the Xenorchaeological Research Center would be stunned. Yun was known as a careful researcher, someone who documented every tiny detail with precision. But this inheritance was something entirely beyond her current professional scope. A whole planet, passed down through her family line, hidden from official records. As she scrolled through the documents, she noticed strange encryption patterns. Her grandmother had been careful, protecting the deed with multiple layers of security that would challenge even the most advanced alien hacking systems. Each layer revealed another piece of a complex puzzle: geological surveys, mineral composition reports, and mysterious notations in a language that seemed part scientific, part personal code. The timing couldn't have been more complicated. Yun was midway through a critical research project about ancient interstellar migration patterns. Her current work could potentially revolutionize understanding of how early human settlers spread across different star systems. And now, this planetary inheritance complicated everything. She knew that such a valuable asset would attract attention. Interstellar property laws were complex, with multiple alien corporations constantly seeking opportunities to exploit legal loopholes. Her grandmother's meticulous documentation would be both a shield and a potential target. Yun's research background gave her an advantage. She understood legal frameworks, knew how to protect intellectual and territorial rights. But this was different. This was personal. This was a legacy left by a woman who had clearly understood the complex game of interstellar property management long before her time. The room around her seemed to shift, the research facility's sterile white walls feeling suddenly smaller. A whole planet waited for her, thousands of light years away. Potential discoveries, untouched territories, scientific treasures that could change human understanding of extraterrestrial environments. But something else nagged at her consciousness. The way the documents were structured, the hidden layers of encryption. Her grandmother had known something, had prepared for something. This wasn't just a simple inheritance. This was a message, a challenge, a pathway to something much larger. As night fell outside her research center, Yun Park realized her life was about to change dramatically. A planetary inheritance, a mysterious legacy, and the beginning of a journey that would test everything she knew about science, law, and survival in the vast, unforgiving landscape of interstellar exploration. Little did she know, someone was already watching. Someone who had been waiting for this moment. Someone who believed this planet would soon become their own. The first move had been made. The game was just beginning. Jug Kim leaned back in his chair, fingers dancing across holographic screens that flickered with countless property transaction records. His office, perched high above the bustling commercial district of New Singapore Station, overlooked the busy interstellar trade routes. He was not just a property broker. He was a master of legal manipulation. The moment Yun Park's planetary inheritance registered in the Central Galactic Database, Jay knew opportunity had arrived. Horizon 7 wasn't just a planet. It was a potential goldmine waiting to be exploited. His network of information brokers had been tracking the inheritance for weeks, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Using a complex web of digital forgeries, Jay began constructing a false narrative. Fake transaction logs, carefully crafted legal documents, and sophisticated holographic signatures started weaving together. Each digital thread was designed to slowly unravel the legitimacy of Yun's claim. He understood human bureaucratic systems better than most aliens. Humans loved documentation, loved proof, loved following complex legal procedures, and he would use exactly those traits against Yun Park. Small inconsistencies, subtle redirections, digital breadcrumbs that would lead investigators down carefully planned paths. The first forged document suggested that Yun's grandmother had outstanding interstellar property transfer agreements. Another document implied unresolved mineral extraction contracts. Each piece looked legitimate, backed by seemingly authentic digital signatures and encrypted validation codes. Jay's team of digital experts worked silently, creating a labyrinth of legal complexity. They understood that in interstellar property law, confusion was as powerful as concrete evidence. The more complicated they made the documentation, the harder it would be for a single researcher to untangle the web. His communication devices pinged softly. Reports from various information brokers confirmed that Yun Park was still unaware of the elaborate scheme being constructed around her inheritance. She was a researcher, methodical and careful. But methodical researchers were often slow to react, and slowness in interstellar property disputes could be fatal. The station's artificial lighting cast sharp shadows across Jay's face. He wasn't just doing this for money. There was a personal satisfaction in outsmarting human legal systems, in proving that alien intelligence could navigate human bureaucratic mazes more effectively than humans themselves. Each forged document was a carefully placed chess piece. Some would be discovered, some would lead to dead ends, but collectively they would create enough doubt to challenge Yun's clear ownership. Reasonable doubt was all he needed in the complex world of interstellar property law. His team had already identified potential weak points in the original inheritance documentation. Minor registration errors, slight inconsistencies in geological survey timestamps. Nothing major, but enough to create legal friction. These small details could transform a straightforward inheritance into a complex, years-long legal battle. As hours passed, the digital fortress of false documentation grew more complex. Bank transfer records were subtly altered. Historical property movement logs were strategically adjusted. Each modification was so precise that it would take an expert weeks to detect the manipulation. Jay knew the risks. Interstellar legal systems had strict penalties for documented fraud, but he had calculated his moves carefully. Even if some forgeries were discovered, the initial confusion would delay Yun's claim. Delay meant opportunity in the cutthroat world of interstellar property trading. His communication device blinked. Another layer of digital camouflage was ready. Soon, the first official challenges would be filed, introducing doubt into Yun's clean inheritance. The legal battle would begin, not with a dramatic confrontation, but with quiet, methodical undermining. The station's external view showed countless ships moving between docking bays, each representing potential trade, potential profit. For Jai Kim, Horizon 7 was more than a planet. It was a trophy, a challenge, a test of his skills against human legal resilience. The first legal document challenging Yun's inheritance was about to be filed. The game was set. The first move was his. Yun Park's research center buzzed with quiet intensity. Computer screens flickered, displaying complex geological maps and property transaction records. She had discovered something was wrong. Subtle digital fingerprints that didn't match standard legal documentation. Her fingers moved swiftly across holographic interfaces, tracing every digital thread of the suspicious documents. Each inconsistency told a story. Small registration errors, timestamp discrepancies, digital signatures that looked perfect but carried microscopic irregularities. Years of archaeological research had trained her to spot patterns. Where most people would see complicated legal documents, she saw a carefully constructed narrative. Someone was trying to steal her inheritance, piece by calculated piece. She contacted her mentor, Dr. Lee, an expert in interstellar property law. His encrypted communication arrived within minutes. "These documents are too perfect," he warned. Perfection in legal documentation often means deliberate manipulation. Yun began building her defense. She collected every single document related to her grandmother's original planetary claim. Old research logs, family inheritance records, geological survey reports from decades ago. Each piece became a weapon in her growing legal arsenal. Her research center's advanced computational systems started analyzing the forged documents. Complex algorithms compared digital signatures, cross-referenced transaction histories, and mapped potential manipulation pathways. The computer worked silently, processing millions of data points per second. The first breakthrough came unexpectedly. A microscopic digital watermark in one of the forged documents revealed a connection to a known alien property speculation network. The mark was so small that it would have been invisible to standard verification systems. Jae Kim had made a mistake, and Yun was going to exploit it. She started documenting everything: screenshots, data logs, comparative analyses. Each piece of evidence was meticulously recorded, time-stamped, and secured using multiple encryption protocols. She wasn't just preparing a defense, she was constructing a legal counterattack. Her colleagues watched with growing respect. Yun wasn't just fighting a legal battle. She was conducting a precise, methodical investigation that would expose an entire system of interstellar property fraud. Communication channels within the research community began buzzing. Rumors spread about a comprehensive investigation into property transaction manipulations. Other researchers started sharing similar experiences, revealing a broader pattern of alien property speculation. Yun realized this was bigger than her personal inheritance. This was about protecting scientific researchers, about maintaining the integrity of interstellar property rights. Her grandmother's legacy was becoming something more than just a planetary claim. Late into the night, she continued working. Computational systems analyzed data, breaking down complex legal documents into their most basic components. Each deconstruction revealed another layer of the elaborate fraud. The digital trail led to unexpected places: shell corporations, complicated financial networks, a system designed to exploit legal gaps between human and alien property regulations. What had started as a simple inheritance dispute was transforming into a major investigation. Her mentor's advice echoed in her mind. Documentation is power. Evidence is your strongest weapon. And she was gathering evidence with surgical precision. As dawn broke over the research station, Yun had compiled a comprehensive report. Detailed, precise, devastating. The documents not only defended her inheritance but exposed a systematic approach to interstellar property fraud. Jae Kim had chosen the wrong researcher to challenge. Yun Park wasn't just going to defend her inheritance. She was going to dismantle his entire fraudulent network, piece by calculated piece. The first legal challenge would be filed soon, and when it was, the entire interstellar legal community would be watching. The counterattack had begun. The Galactic Tribunal Chamber was an imposing structure of transparent crystalline walls, suspended in the zero-gravity environment of Neutral Zone Station. Representatives from multiple species sat in a circular arrangement, their varied biological forms creating a mosaic of alien diversity. Yun Park stood at the center, her research documentation displayed in massive holographic projections. Each screen showed intricate details of the property fraud, digital evidence that seemed to breathe with its own complexity. Behind her, a team of legal experts waited quietly, their presence a silent support. Jae Kim sat opposite her, his alien features carefully composed. But beneath his calm exterior, tension rippled. His elaborate fraud was unraveling, thread by careful thread. The digital evidence Yun had collected was more than just documentation. It was a precise surgical instrument designed to expose systematic corruption. The tribunal's lead adjudicator, a multi-limbed being from a distant star system, reviewed the documents with mechanical precision. Holographic interfaces flickered around her, translating complex legal language in real time. Every transaction, every forged document was being analyzed with microscopic attention. Yun's presentation was methodical. She didn't just defend her inheritance. She exposed a broader network of interstellar property manipulation. Each slide revealed another layer of the complex fraud, showing how alien corporations had been exploiting legal gaps for decades. Witness testimonies from other researchers appeared, stories of similar attempted thefts, of systematic harassment against independent human property owners. What had started as a personal dispute was transforming into a landmark case about interstellar legal rights. Jia Kim's legal team tried multiple defensive strategies. They challenged document authenticity. They argued jurisdictional complexities. But each argument crumbled under the weight of Yun's meticulously collected evidence. The tribunal chamber grew quiet. Even the ambient translation systems seemed to pause, processing the significance of the presented information. This was more than a property dispute. This was about establishing precedent for future interstellar legal interactions. Yun's grandmother's careful documentation became her strongest weapon. Old research logs, carefully preserved digital records, geological surveys. Each piece told a story of careful preparation. It was clear now that her grandmother had anticipated potential challenges decades ago. The lead adjudicator's mechanical translation device clicked softly. Preliminary assessment indicates systematic fraud patterns, the device announced. Comprehensive review required. Jia Kim's confident demeanor began to crack. His elaborate legal strategy was collapsing, exposed by a single researcher's determination and methodical approach. The very systems he had used to manipulate legal frameworks were now revealing his own fraudulent activities. Forensic digital experts began presenting additional findings. Each revelation was like another nail in Jia Kim's legal coffin. Complex networks of shell corporations, falsified transaction records, systematic exploitation of legal gray areas. The entire scheme was being dismantled in real time. The tribunal wasn't just deciding on a planetary inheritance anymore. They were establishing a precedent for interstellar property rights. How would human researchers be protected? What legal frameworks would prevent future exploitation? Hours passed. Holographic evidence continued to rotate, displaying complex financial trails, digital manipulations, and systematic fraud patterns. The tribunal members consulted in multiple languages, their communication a complex dance of technological translation. Yun remained calm. She understood that this was about more than personal victory. This was about establishing fair legal principles for scientific researchers across multiple star systems. As the final presentations concluded, a sense of anticipation filled the chamber. The decision would impact not just Yun's inheritance, but the entire structure of interstellar property law. The lead adjudicator's device began to speak. The verdict was moments away. The tribunal's verdict arrived like a thunderclap. In a moment of unprecedented clarity, the lead adjudicator's mechanical voice declared Yun Park's complete and uncontested ownership of Horizon 7, accompanied by severe legal penalties against Jia Kim and his entire property speculation network. Jia Kim's carefully constructed legal empire collapsed instantly. His assets were frozen, his interstellar business licenses revoked, and substantial financial penalties were imposed. What had begun as a calculated attempt to steal a planetary inheritance became his ultimate professional destruction. Yun stood silent, her victory more than personal. The tribunal's ruling established a landmark precedent protecting independent researchers and human property owners across multiple star systems. Each word of the verdict dismantled years of systematic alien property manipulation. The financial compensation was substantial. Millions of galactic credits were awarded to Yun, not just as recovery for attempted theft, but as punitive damages against the fraudulent network. More importantly, the ruling created a protective legal framework that would shield future researchers from similar attacks. Horizon 7 was more than a planetary inheritance now. It represented a symbol of human determination, legal sophistication, and unwavering persistence. Scientific research institutions across human settlements celebrated the comprehensive victory. Detailed investigations revealed the extent of Jai Kim's fraudulent operations. Multiple alien corporations were implicated, their illegal property speculation networks exposed and systematically dismantled. What had started as a personal dispute transformed into a comprehensive legal revolution. Yun's research center became a focal point for interstellar legal discussions. Researchers from multiple star systems sought her insights, understanding that her careful documentation had done more than protect a single inheritance. She had changed the entire legal landscape. Her grandmother's carefully preserved documents became legendary. What seemed like simple record-keeping decades ago had become the foundation of a legal transformation. Each preserved log, each meticulously maintained record was now studied as a masterclass in preparation. The tribunal's final report was distributed across scientific and legal networks. It highlighted how individual determination could challenge systemic corruption. Yun Park was no longer just a researcher. She was now a symbol of legal resistance. Horizon 7 itself became more than a planetary claim. Research teams began preparing comprehensive scientific expeditions, eager to explore the world that had become a symbol of human legal resilience. Geological surveys, atmospheric studies, potential colonization plans. The planet represented endless possibilities. Jai Kim's legal team attempted multiple appeals, but each attempt was systematically rejected. The evidence was too comprehensive, the fraud too extensive. His entire professional network crumbled, a testament to the power of meticulous documentation and legal precision. News of the verdict spread rapidly. Scientific institutions, legal networks, and interstellar communication channels buzzed with the story. A single researcher had exposed a complex fraudulent system, changing legal frameworks across multiple star systems. Yun understood the victory was bigger than herself. Her grandmother's legacy was not just a planetary inheritance, but a powerful lesson about preparation, documentation, and unwavering determination. Each piece of evidence was a weapon, each preserved record a shield. The research center where Yun worked became a pilgrimage site for young researchers. Her story was told and retold, a modern legend about facing complex challenges with intelligence and precision. Students studied her documentation methods, her legal strategies, her calm persistence. Horizon 7 waited, a whole planet, now secured through legal brilliance, ready for scientific exploration. The first research teams were already preparing, excited about the potential discoveries that lay ahead. As the final legal documents were filed, Yun allowed herself a small smile. The game was over, and she had won, not through force, but through careful, methodical preparation. The inheritance was hers, completely and unquestionably.